It has been almost 30 years since the iconic 1994 FIFA World Cup. On July 4, 1988, FIFA made the controversial decision to give the 1994 World Cup to the United States. The US team had qualified for the 1988 Olympics, proving that the sport did have a pulse, however small, in the US, and FIFA wanted to help reinvigorate soccer in America. The US beat out finalists Brazil and Morocco for the right to host the tournament, and FIFA was widely criticized. One journalist even compared the decision to holding a major skiing competition in an African country. Nonetheless, the tournament became an important opportunity to spread the game in America and gave the world some great moments to look back on. Despite soccer's relative lack of popularity in the host nation, the tournament was the most financially successful. The 1994 tournament was also the last of the old 24-team format, but the first World Cup, in which 3 points were awarded for a win instead of 2 points under the old format. And then, on June 17, 1994, the World Cup started.
I do not believe what I've just seen!
Oh my God, an insane goal! I've just seen!
In the pinned comment, you will find the link to the detailed ebook I made about this player's career for a symbolic fee. Help us grow and bring more content to you. This was the first World Cup since World War II, in which none of the UK home nations of England, Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales qualified, with England, finishing third behind Norway and Netherlands in Group 2, missing out after having finished fourth in the 1990 tournament, and Scotland, who finished fourth in Group 1, failing to qualify for the first time since 1970. France, who had been already designated as hosts of the 1998 tournament, also missed out following surprise home losses to Israel and Bulgaria. Other notable absentees were 1986 and 1990, round of 16 participants, Uruguay, UEFA Euro 1992, champions Denmark, Poland, Portugal and Hungary. Hagi's Romania and Valderrama's Colombia came as the group favorites. The cup started with the game between the United States and Switzerland, which was the first to take place indoors, played under the roof at the Pontiac Silverdome. The game ended up with a 1-1 tie. Switzerland went to beat Romania in the next match and lose to Colombia on the last one, finishing with 4 points. Romania, despite losing to Switzerland in the second match, defeated Colombia and USA, finishing at the top of the group with 6 points. The home team beat Colombia in the second match, with the first goal being an own goal by Andrés Escobar. The Colombian center-back goal may have caused the South America team to be eliminated, as the defeat could have been avoided, and Colombia may have qualified in the United States spot as one of the best third places. Following the tournament, Andrés Escobar was shot dead on his return to Colombia. Switzerland took the second place as they had a better goal difference than USA. Always favorite Brazil with current FIFA World Player of the Year runner-up, and Barcelona star Romario went to beat Russia 2-0, Cameroon 3-0, and draw with Sweden 1-1. Romario scored in all 3 matches. Sweden, despite a draw in the first game with Cameroon, defeated Russia in the second one and finished in the second place with 5 points. But the most iconic game in the group came in the last round, as the already eliminated Russia and Cameroon faced each other. Roger Milla, at the age of 42, became the oldest World Cup goalscorer of all time, as he grabbed his side's consolation goal in the game, and Oleg Salenko of Russia became the first and remains the only man to score 5 goals in a single World Cup game. The defending champions and Euro runners-up Germany came with the same base team as the '90 World Cup, but 4 years older than before, as Matthäus, Wöhler and Bremer were in their 30s. Klinsmann scored 4 times in the group stage, as Germany defeated Bolivia and South Korea, tying with Spain and taking the top spot of the group. Spain also drew with South Korea and beat Bolivia 3-1 which was Bolivia's first goal ever in the competition. Spain finished second in the group. Regarded as the most difficult group in the Cup, it had top favourite Argentina, which was the last World Cup runner-up and champions of '86, also current South America champion, led by legend Diego Maradona and striker Gabriel Batistuta. Bulgaria, which has never won a World Cup game, took France's place in the competition, led by Champions League runner-up and Barcelona star Hristo Stoichkov. In the first round of the group, Bulgaria failed to impress and was beat by debutant Nigeria 3-0. As Argentina easily defeated Greece with a hat-trick from Batistuta and a Maradona goal, Argentina beat Nigeria in the second round with a stellar performance from Caniggia. And Stoichkov showed the world what he came for, defeating Greece 4-0 with 2 goals from the star. At this point, Argentina was already leading the group with 6 points, as Bulgaria and Nigeria fought for the second spot with 3 points each. But after the match against Nigeria, Maradona was found to contain ephedrine, a performance-enhancing stimulant in his system after being subjected to an anti-doping test held during their match. FIFA subsequently expelled him from the Cup. In the last round, Nigeria easily defeated Greece 2-0. As a shaken Argentine faced Bulgaria, Stoichkov once again was there to show his talent and put the European team ahead. At this point, the 3 teams had the same points, but Argentina and Nigeria had the best goal difference, and as Argentina beat Nigeria in the first match, they were the top spot. All Argentina had to do was hold on against a 10-men Bulgaria. But at 93 minutes, Sirakov scored, and Argentina dropped 2 places, qualifying as the best third place. Group E had current Ballon d'Or winner Roberto Baggio's Italy as favourite and North America champion Mexico as a competitor. But in the first round, Houghton scored to guarantee a simple Ireland victory over Italy, and Rekdal did the same as Norway defeated Mexico. In the second round, Baggio's talent overcame Norway defence in a simple victory as Luis Garcia scored twice in a 2-1. Mexico victory over Ireland. At this point, there was a 4-team tie, all with 3 points. It all came to the last round, but Ireland and Norway did not shake the scoreboard, and highly favourites Italy and Mexico also tied the match at 1-1. Group E became the only group in World Cup history in which all 4 teams finished with the same points and same goal difference. Those results meant that Mexico won the group on goals scored, with 3 in the group. With Ireland and Italy also progressing, having finished with identical records, the Irish team qualified as second place as a result of their victory against the Italians. Norway's shortcomings in attack ultimately let them down, and they exited the tournament with only 1 goal. One of the World Cup favourites, Netherlands, came shaken as former Ballon d'Or winner Marco van Basten had not recovered from a knee injury, but the European team had Inter Milan star and current Ballon d'Or runner-up Dennis Bergkamp. Michel Prudhomme's Belgium came as well as a group favourite to advance over Morocco and Saudi Arabia. Just as happened to Argentina in Group D, Belgium endured the same fate in Group F. Despite winning both of its first 2 matches 1-0 against Morocco, and neighbours Netherlands, Belgium finished third as, in an upset loss to tournament, newcomers Saudi Arabia 1-0 in the third game. Saudi Arabia advanced through to the round of 16 as well, having also defeated Morocco 2-1. The Netherlands endured a somewhat nervier experience. The opening 2-1 victory against Saudi Arabia was followed by the 1-0 loss against Belgium before another 2-1 victory against Morocco, with Brian Roy scoring the winner a mere 12 minutes from time. Saw the Dutch win the group, having scored more goals than Belgium and beaten Saudi Arabia. And this was knockout stage drawing. The favourites Argentina, without Maradona, ended up facing Hagi's Romania. Romania opened the score at 9 minutes, but Batistuta tied the match up 6 minutes later. Then Hagi started to show his talent, assisting the second and scoring the third Romania goal. Argentina scored another one 17 minutes later, but was not enough to stop Hagi's team. In Dallas, Sweden eliminated Saudi Arabia with 2 goals from Kenneth Anderson, winning the game by 3-1. Bergkamp's Netherlands faced Ireland in Orlando and won the game by 2-0. At Stanford, the host team had a difficult match against the all-powerful Brazil. Brazil finished the first half losing Leonardo with a red card, but Brazil was still better and continued pressuring the home team. After a beautiful play from Romario, he found Bebeto, who scored the winner. In New Jersey, Stoichkov's Bulgaria faced Mexico, and the Star started the match opening the score at just 6 minutes, but Mexico was awarded a penalty 12 minutes later and tied the match up. Neither team was able to score again, and the match was decided on penalties. Mexico lost 3 shots in a row, and Bulgaria ended up winning the dispute. In Chicago, another favorite, Germany, had a difficult game ahead, facing one of the best goalkeepers in the world. But at just 5 minutes into the game, Wöhler opened the score. Germany happiness didn't last long. 2 minutes later, Grün tied the match. But Wöhler was unstoppable. He assisted Klinsmann on scoring the second and himself scored the third. Belgium scored another one at the end of the match, but the Germans ended up winning the match. In Washington, Spain massacred the Swiss, beating them by 3-0. And the most awaited match between underdogs Nigeria and the powerful Italy took place in Massachusetts, and the Africa team opened the score at 25 minutes with a Munique's goal. Italy, playing badly, was unable to scare the Nigeria goalkeeper at the first half. In the last half, Italy became more prominent, but the Nigeria defense was hard to beat. 75 minutes into the game, Zola ended up expelled, leaving the Italians with only 10 men. With just 5 minutes to end of the regulation time, it seemed like Nigeria would do the impossible. But Baggio was there to disagree, scoring at 88 minutes. The match went to extra time, and the Nigeria team didn't know how to take advantage of the extra man. Italy ended up being awarded a penalty at 100 minutes, and Baggio once again scored to take the lead and eliminate the underdogs, Nigeria. In the quarterfinals, Hagi's Romania ended up facing Sweden at Stanford. It was a hard game for both teams. At 78 minutes, Brolin was able to open the score to the Sweden. But 10 minutes later, too shy of the end of the match, Hagi helped Raducioiu tie the match, and the match went into halftime. 5 minutes before the end of the first half at 100 minutes, Raducioiu scored again and put Romania ahead. Romania had already reached its best position in a World Cup, and going to the semi-finals would be historic. But the Sweden wouldn't stop there, and they didn't give up despite losing a man and playing with only 10. At 115 minutes, 5 minutes to end the game, Kenneth Anderson tied the match and put the Romania dream on hold. The match was to be decided on penalties. Mild missed the first Sweden shot. Neither team missed a chance for 3 consecutive shots. At the 4th Romania shot, Petrescu missed his opportunity. The duel was tied again. At the first alternative shot, Henrik Larsson, the future world star, didn't waste his chance, but Belodedici didn't have the same luck. There, the Bulgaria dream ended. Hagi's talent was not enough to get his nation a semi-final opportunity. But despite the loss, his abilities got him in the spotlight again, and after the World Cup, Barcelona bought him from Brescia for just €4 million. He finished his participation with 3 goals and 4 assists in 5 matches. After the Nigeria drama, Italy had another tough match ahead, facing fellow European team Spain, and Dino Baggio opened the score in the first half. But the great Spanish team was behind the first title, and at 58 minutes, Caminero tied the match. The match was near the end of regular time, but the Italians didn't want another drama, and Baggio again was there to show his talent. Scoring at 87, there was not enough time to Spain run after the tie, and the Italy advanced into the semi-finals. For Other favorite Germany faced the sensation Bulgaria, with the unstoppable Stoichkov thirsty for glory. The Germans were awarded a penalty at the beginning of the second half, and the iconic Lothar Matthäus put Germany ahead. It was a tough game for Bulgaria, facing the current world champions, crowded with legends behind the score. But was the chance of a lifetime, and they didn't give up. The Germans almost scored another one, but the offside didn't allow it. And Stoichkov showcased his talent, tying the match for Bulgaria. There was still hope for the Bulgarians, and 3 minutes later, after a cross, Lechkov put Bulgaria ahead. The Germans got desperate, trying everything to get the match in extra time, but it was too late. The Bulgarians wrote their names in the World Cup semi-finals. In Dallas, another tough match was to start. It was Romario x Bergkamp for the last semi-final spot. After a first half with few chances for both sides, Romario opened the score after an assist from Bebeto, and Bebeto was feeling this was his day, and 10 minutes later he scored the second after get past the goalkeeper. Brazil was in ecstasy. They had a 2-goal advantage, which hadn't happened at the quarterfinals for any team. But their happiness was short-lived. Bergkamp reduced the score for the Dutch team. They keep pressuring the Brazilian team, and 12 minutes later, Aaron Winter tied the match after a corner. Brazil lost their lead and was 15 minutes left on the clock, with the European team in a better moment in the game. But Branco, the Brazilian left-back, had a free kick right in front of the goal at 80 minutes, and he took distance. With an accurate kick, he put Brazil ahead again. 9 minutes before the end of the match, the shaken Netherlands was unable to impose themselves again, and the match ended with the Brazilian goal. Brazil got the last spot in the semi-finals and would face the Sweden. In Pasadena, Brazil was better from the start, pressuring the other yellow team and allowing few chances from the adversary. Romario almost scored a beautiful goal, but was stopped by the Sweden defense. He had another opportunity, but wasn't able to score. The missed chances started to preoccupy the Brazilian team, since Sweden could score at any moment and park the bus. It wasn't until the 80th minute that Jorginho found the 169 meters tall Romario in the area to score a header. Brazil had finally scored. They only have to secure the score for 10 minutes, and was what they did, advanced to the final after 24 years since Mexico, where they beat Italy 4-1. The sensation Bulgaria had another tough match ahead, facing the all-powerful Italy in New Jersey. Both teams were trying to score from the start, but Italy was better in the match, and 20 minutes into the game, Roberto Baggio got past the defender to score an easy goal for the Italian team, and Italy got pressuring the Bulgarians, who seemed to be lost in the game. 5 minutes later, Albertini found Baggio, who scored another goal, the second from the Italians. It seemed to be the end of the Bulgarian dream. Italy, like a wrecking crew, didn't stop there and continued to pressure the shaken European team. It wasn't until the 43rd minute that Sirikov got a penalty. It was the Bulgaria chance to get back in the game. And Stoichkov didn't disappoint. Bulgaria had all the second half to make another goal. Their dream was still alive, but the second half had more fouls than chances, and Bulgaria dream would stop there. Stoichkov was only able to get his team so far. Still, they had beaten the 2 last World Cup finalists. It was a campaign worth remembering, and they still had a chance to finish third, facing Sweden for the bronze. Bulgaria would face Sweden for the Bros in Pasadena, with 91,500 in attendance, to see Stoichkov take his team to the 3rd place. But the Bulgarians were still suffering from the defeat in the previous game. Their minds were somewhere else. As they watched the Swedes score the first, the second, the third, and fourth goal, all in the first half, it was all lost to the Bulgarian team. It was their last chance to a spot in the podium. Stoichkov had to be content with golden shoe for his 6 goals scored in the campaign, a spot in the competition all-star team, and the bronze ball for his performance. It all came down to the final, again in Pasadena. The most successful nation teams, in which each had won the World Cup 3 times, would face off for the 4th title and the lead. It was the chance to Italy get revenge for their loss 24 years ago. Baggio was shining in the knockouts, scoring all of his 5 goals at that stage. Brazil had the best defense in the competition and the second best attack, with Romário scoring 5 and Bebeto 3. It was game time. In the 12th minute, Romário had a chance to score with a header from close range, following a cross by Dunga, but his header went straight to the goalkeeper. 4 minutes later, Romário passed the ball through to Bebeto on the left side of the penalty area. Instead of shooting, Bebeto attempted a cross, but it deflected behind off Paolo Maldini. Italy then had one of their best chances of the game when Daniele Massaro beat 2 defenders and was one-on-one with Taffarel, but his shot was directed straight at the Brazilian goalkeeper. Late in the half, Brazil had 2 further opportunities, first from Romário, whose shot was parried by Gianluca Pagliuca without falling to a Brazilian player, and then through Branco, whose free kick was saved. None team was able to score, and the first half concluded with the score at 0-0. At 75 minutes, Mauro Silva attended a top-spin shot from distance, which Pagliuca was able to stop the ball. Other than that, the second half was largely devoid of scoring chances, as Brazil was unable to break through the centre-back pairing of Franco Baresi and Paolo Maldini. The lack of attacking play in the game was down to strong holding midfield play by Dino Baggio for Italy, and by both Dunga and Mauro Silva for Brazil. As extra time began, chances would become more plentiful as Brazil began to dominate play. Romário had another chance early in extra time after Pagliuca made an ill-advised decision to come for a cross, leaving the goal exposed, but Bebeto was unable to find him. Roberto Baggio, who had been quiet for most of the game, had his only sight of goal in the entire game in the first half of extra time, hitting a shot from around 25 yards, but Taffarel pushed the shot over. Zinho had a chance on the stroke of half-time in extra time, hitting his shot from inside the area, but Pagliuca saved well at his near post. In the second half of extra time, Romário missed a golden chance to hand Brazil the trophy, as Cafu had found him inside the 6-yard box, and the entire goal to aim at, the off-balance, Romário put his shot wide of the post. That was it, 120 minutes of playing, and neither team was able to score. It all came to penalties shootout. This was the first time the World Cup would be decided on penalties. Italian captain Baresi took the first penalty and blazed his penalty over the bar. Brazilian centre-back Marcio Santos went next, but Pagliuca saved the Brazilian defender's effort low to his right. The drama was rising. Demetrio Albertini went next for Italy, scoring his penalty into the top corner. Brazil chose his best player to take the shoot. He didn't disappoint, placing it so far in the corner that it went in off the post, tying the score at 1-1. Alberico Evani went third for Italy. He scored, putting his penalty high and in the middle, as Taffarel dove to the right. Branco went next for Brazil, and he scored in the bottom left corner. 3 penalties take for both teams, and the score still tied. Massaro, who had scored twice in the Champions League final less than 2 months previously, went next for Italy, but he was unable to put the ball in Taffarel's net, just as he had been unable to do in the game, as the Brazilian keeper saved to his left. It was the Brazil chance to get ahead in the game. Brazilian captain Dunga was next, and he comfortably placed his shot into the bottom left corner, making it game point. With Italy needing to score to keep their dreams alive, talisman Roberto Baggio stepped up to take the penalty. He had only one job: score to get his team another chance. In what would become an infamous moment in World Cup history, Baggio blazed his penalty over the bar, and this gave Brazil their 4th title. Brazil had just won its 4th title, becoming the most winning one all around. Romário was named tournament's Golden Ball, as Baggio received the silver ball. Baggio, along with Maldini, were the only Italians in the all-star team. As Brazil put 4 names there: Jorginho, Marcio Santos, Dunga and Romário. The World Cup result led Romário to be named FIFA World Player of the Year that season, beating Stoichkov and Baggio. As the Ballon d'Or didn't award non-European players at that time, Stoichkov ended up receiving the glory, as Baggio finished in second. The 1994 FIFA World Cup, for sure, was one to remember. Don't forget to check out our ebook in the pinned comment